Hello, hello, hello. We are back at it again. And today we are going to have our first math lesson of Unit 4, and that is extended multiplication facts. The word extended means, of course, to grow. So we're looking at these multiplication facts, and of course, it's getting bigger. Think of it that way. Also, if we're looking at multiplication, think multiples. Go higher, higher. It's more, it's more. And we are looking today at multiples of 10, 100, and 1,000. Those are the multiples that we are going to focus on. Now, on the screen that I'm sharing with you, you will see a little section of our review from Monday where we had to understand the powers of 10. We are going to use this same knowledge to help us with today's lesson. How did we solve 3 times 30 on Tuesday? On Tuesday. Right. We multiplied 3 times 3 and then we added our 0. Guys, when we multiply 3 times 3, that's called a basic fact. We're just looking at that first digit, just the first digit of our number, multiplying it and then adding the zeros. But don't think about it as just adding zeros, but we are extending the fact by a multiple of 10. That means we can make groups evenly of 10. We can make even groups that have 10 things, objects, or even dollars in each group. So I know that this number can be divided by 10. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's go here to looking at today's assignment, multiplying tens by tens. And again, I know that you know exactly what to do. We are going to extend a multiplication fact by making both factors multiples of 10. So each factor will be a multiple of 10. Before we go on, what is a factor? When I say factor, what am I talking about here? Think about it. Erasing that line's too big. When I say factor, what do I mean? Yes, factors are the numbers that we multiply together. So we want the numbers that we multiply together to be a multiple of 10. We're going to use this triangle here to help us. So for example, our original fact is 3 times 5. I know that looking at my triangle, 3 and 5 equals 15. 3 times 5 equals 15. My original fact, 3 times 5 equals 15. Now I am going to extend both factors. Remember, my factors are here, the numbers I'm multiplying together. I'm going to make that number a multiple of 10 by adding 1 0. Because there's 1 0 and 10, a little hint there. So I'm going to add 1 0 to make that a multiple of 10. Now I have 30 times 50 equals, here it comes time to solve. The good thing is, if I know my basic facts, we talked about those first digits. If I know that is 3 times 5 equals 15, 3 times 5 equals 15, I'm going to go ahead and type that on my line. Now I'm going to add my zeros. How many zeros do I have in this equation? Yes, 2. 1, 2. So I know if 3 times 5 equals 15, I made each factor a multiple of 10 by adding 0. And then I multiplied 3 times 5, my basic fact, and added the 2 zeros, 1,500. Now I know this number is a multiple of 10. Does that make sense? Let's keep going just to make sure. Looking at number 1, you tell me this time, what is my original fact in this triangle? Yes, 4 times 6 equals 24. We'll talk about this division sign later, but for right now, we are just focusing on our multiplication facts. My original fact, 4 times 6 equals 24. At this time, we're going to make each factor a multiple of 10. When I multiply this digit by 10, I add a 0. 4, 0, 40 times 60. And why is this 60? Yes, because I had to make 6 a multiple of 10. 6 times 10 equals 60. I added a 0. So let's use this extended multiplication to solve 40 times 60. We know that 4 times 6 equals 24. So I'm going to go ahead and type that. Now I'm going to add my 2 zeros. And my answer is 2,400. I multiplied my basic facts, 4 times 6, and added the 2 zeros. Let's keep going. If you need to pause to record number 1, please do so now. It's a really good time to go ahead and do that. I really want you to understand how we determined our original fact, and then we extended it with our powers of 10, our multiples of 10. This number can be divided by 10 evenly. Let's look at number 2. What is my original fact? Yep. 8 times 2 equals 16. Yes, my answer is right here at the top of this triangle. So I'm going to type that on the line. 8 times 2 equals 16. And what is the extended fact? First, I'm going to make each factor a multiple of 10. So what is a factor? The numbers I'm multiplying together. Yep, so 8 and 2 are my factors. And to make that a multiple of 10, I'm going to multiply 8 times 10. Just add a 0. Adding 1 0 lets me know that it's been multiplied by 10. And how about 2? Multiple of 10 would be 20. And for my answer, my product, we're still using our original fact. So 8 times 2, because those are the first digits, 16. And I'm adding how many zeros? I'm putting it onto the end. Yes, 2. So my answer is 1,600. That's absolutely correct. Let's keep going. But if you need to, go ahead and pause. Number 3. What is my original fact? Looking at this one triangle, what is my original fact? What are my factors and what is my product? Remember, product is answers. Yes, my original fact is 3 times 3 equals 9. 3 times 3 equals 9. That's my original fact. That's where I'm starting. And I'm going to make each factor a multiple of 10. 3 times 10, or adding a 0 to the end. Yep, 30 times 30 equals, and we know this one because, what's another example yesterday? No, it wasn't an example yesterday. It was 3 times 3, not 30 times 3. Okay, back to the matter at hand. 3 times 3 equals 9, and I'm adding my 2 zeros to the end. Guys, I can't stress enough. I'm not just simply adding zeros, but we are extending these facts by multiples of 10. That's what's happening here. I'm not just adding zeros for fun, but I want these factors to be a multiple of 10. I'm pretty sure that you can handle number 4 on your own. So at this time, I want you to write the original fact for number 4 in this triangle. What times what equals the product. And then I want you to write the extended fact, just like we did in the previous examples. Once you finish, let's mosey on down to number 5. Let me say again, you complete number 4 on your own. Pause the video if you need to for some think time. When you come back, let's rock and roll to number 5. What rule can you use to multiply tens by tens, such as 40 times 60? What rule can you use? How did we solve 30 times 30 and 40 times 60 and 80 times 2? What did we do first? Yes, we solve the basic fact first. What is that basic fact for 40 times 60? 4 times 6 equals 24. That was the first thing we did. Then attach, I didn't capitalize my T there. Let me go back. Then attach 2 zeros to the answer. And what did that look like? 40 times 60 equals 2,400. Very important, guys, that your answer looks exactly like mine. I want you to understand, how did we solve? We solved by using the basic fact first, those first digits. 4 times 6 equals 24. Then we attach 2 zeros to the answer. 40 times 60 equals 2,400. There are our 2 zeros. Once you are finished and every problem is answered, that's all she wrote. Make sure that you hit submit.